Unfortunately, the movies and TV shows that I've been watching for this channel are ones that I ended up disliking. I mean, yes, some of them I do go into thinking that they're going to be bad and don't get surprised when they are. But deep down inside of me, for everything that I watch, I hope to enjoy them at the end of the day. I didn't want this to be a negativity only channel. I've always wanted to come on here and tell y'all that I recently watched something amazing, and luckily today is finally the day, because I've recently watched the homosexual men of color from outer space. Yeah, a very short Danish B-movie of only 27 minutes that was the first and only movie by a performance artist named Morten Lindberg, also known as Master Fatman. Despite the absolutely tragic video quality and the black and white color scheme, this movie was not made in the 40s or 50s, but in 1992. The movie was of course quite controversial due to its actual title, but it was also controversial because of its plot as well. It's about the main characters eradicating all women on Earth. It also doesn't help that Master Fatman is, as you can see, a white man, and he's also straight, by the way. Anyway, personally, I didn't take it seriously because this movie is just way too juvenile to be taken seriously. It's like a 12-year-old wrote it in order to make his friends laugh. If anything, it makes fun of people who are homophobic, sexist, and racist by having the characters and basically every single aspect about the movie be so fucking retarded. I've actually known about this movie for several years now, but have refrained from knowing about the actual plot. I didn't want it spoiled for me because I knew that one day I would want to review it on YouTube. And this was before I started a YouTube channel. I just had this feeling, you know, deep down inside of me that in the future I was going to review this fucking movie. However, I completely forgot about this movie's existence until very recently. You see, I also have a friend that watches weird and horrifying shit. Well, he's not really a watcher, more like a connoisseur. Like, I swear to God, I only watch this shit for YouTube. Meanwhile, he watches this shit for fun. He knows me well though. He knew that I would like this movie and find it funny. However, I actually ended up liking it more than he did, because he said that he only found the first half and the ending funny, but not the second half. Meanwhile, I'm the opposite. I actually found the second half to be the funniest part. It had me crying, but I'll get to that later. So homosexual men of color from outer space is essentially an alien invasion movie of all things, believe it or not. And at least in their eyes, they don't have bad intentions. You see, they are gay because they don't have any other choice really. On their planet, Planet Anus, and apparently many other planets too, because there is a federation of intergalactic gay planets that their one is a part of, only men exist. They're also the most intelligent life forms in the entirety of the universe, and are able to manipulate different species by using their advanced technologies. Okay, to be honest, I never ended up understanding what manipulating different species and life forms truly meant, and they never ever reveal it. But it sounded important, so whatever. And it's because of their incredible intelligence that they live in a utopia, because they have annihilated all the women around them. This is because they think all women are vile and evil, because apparently they're only set out to oppress men. If they weren't gay, I would be calling them incels throughout this entire video. And so, one day, when wandering through space in this spaceship that surprisingly is not a giant penis, the homosexual men of African descent become horrified when stumbling across a planet that has too many women on it. It's Earth, which apparently doesn't spin for some reason. It's just a static object. They decide that they must use their philanthropy, high intelligence, and homosexuality in order to rescue the poor gentlemen living down there by destroying all the women and making Earth into a 100% gay place to live. This is how I'd imagine aliens would be in real life, to be honest. They wouldn't make sense at all. In fact, it wouldn't make sense if they made sense. No, their logic would be nonsensical. If they wanted to destroy the people on here, they'd probably do it for an incredibly bizarre reason. not some shitty reason like enslavement or collecting resources. You know, shit that would actually make sense to us. This movie is genius in that respect. Before watching this movie, I was wondering how on anus they managed to get actors to play in such a thing, especially black actors. I began to ponder that tenfold upon getting introduced to their names, because they are basically names a 12-year-old would make up for a Kahoot before getting kicked out of it by a teacher. We have the Chief Technician, Sergeant Shaved Balls, the Data Man, Dr. D. Ildo, the gay N-word who only speaks German for some reason, Mr. Schwul, and I had to look up what Schwul means. It literally means gay, so Mr. Gay. By the way, he apparently comes from the brown region of the planet Anus, who practice the old gay black man religion, the worshipping of shit. Then we have the leader, Captain B. Dick, who feels the need to do this movement when he's saying something really important. He's presented as a wholesome father figure, but he's too wholesome if you ask me. What I mean by that is that he's way too touchy-feely. He often caresses his subordinates, usually by stroking their heads. I know that this is him probably showing off his gayness, but he does it in a manner that seems pretty uncomfortable. There was even this one scene where he says that he's always got an eye on one of his men's asses while squeezing his thigh, and even the crew member, or even the actor himself, seemed really freaked out by it. To be fair, maybe he was saying that he is always watching his ass because his name is Armin Ass, who, by the way, is my favorite in this movie. He's the rookie of the team who has just finished gay agent school and is on his very first flight. He's my favorite because the acting for him is just perfect for this movie. The actor seemed to embrace the sheer retardation of the situation he's landed himself in and just ran full sprint with his interpretation of what a homosexual man of melanin should be. Not only was his physical acting incredible, but the dubbing of him was as well. He basically shouts every single line, but it suits this character to a T. It's how I believe the physical actor would have sounded.
But, sir, I am afraid I have never seen a female. And, sir, thanks for your nice words. You are such a kind captain. Go to hell, you monster.
To be fair, every single actor, whether that be the dub or the physical acting, are all fantastic. It's just that Armin Ars's was my favorite. But the voice acting for Captain B. Dick also needs to be acknowledged too, because his one was just perfect as well. It was basically the opposite of Armin Ars's acting. He was always so calm when saying all this crazy shit, and his voice doesn't suit what he looks like at all.
Let's go and terminate these evil female creatures and make planet Earth a gay place to stay. That's what you've been preparing for since you went to gay agent school. Ildo, show those yellow girls what a real man is like.
He sounds like a white man that works as a bank teller. I don't know, it's just funny to me, okay? However, unfortunately, not all the acting is great, because the narrator leaves much to be desired. I think he was trying to do ASMR before ASMR was even a thing, but it sounds like he's been sedated.
Chief Technician Sergeant Shaved Balls, a warm and kind person and a damn good space technician.
It was actually very difficult for me to understand what the fuck he was saying. Luckily, I ended up finding a subtitled version on YouTube. I guess they don't really care that this movie is on here. Anyway, upon stumbling across Earth, the captain puts Armin Ars up to the task of scouting out the area in real life because he believes that it would be good training for him to become a true gay N-word one day. But because his innocent eyes have never been blighted by the sight of women before, Armin Ars gets really scared and starts panicking in what's meant to be a resting room, when it actually looks like a concentration camp hospital room. You know, for the smartest creatures in the universe, they aren't very good at interior design, are they? When it doesn't look like they're in a sewer, it looks like their destination was meant to be a ginormous oven because of how much aluminium foil they've wrapped around the ship. Or maybe they just have very skewed artistic visions due to their alien natures. Although, that doesn't excuse the fact that parts of the set fell off at one point. Anyway, after the captain calms him down in a manner that doesn't respect personal space at all, seriously, he was this close to straight up humping the guy.
Can you let go of me, please?
Armin Ars gets beamed down near a crowd of people, which honestly looks like the cameraman was just secretly recording the crowd. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what it certainly fucking looked like. There's a whole crowd of people arguing and trying to get it on with each other on a street corner. The fact that the men aren't being gay enough, coupled with the mere sight of the female gender in real life, evidently scars Arminas, which means that he has to walk and do these insane movements like he has worms up his ass and is resisting the urge to pull them out. This goddamn actor, I'll tell you what, he's so professional and so dedicated to this role that he even ignored almost getting hit by a car. However, disaster strikes for Arminas' already dwindling mental state when one of the creatures walks up to him and begins fucking flirting with him. I couldn't believe it. What a vile savage. Arminas is gay and proud. Leave him alone.
Beam me up! Beam me up!
He makes her leave him alone by warping her into oblivion. And I have to thank him for sparing us from continuing to look at the worst wig I have ever seen. From what Arminas saw, the homosexual men with more melanin than others come to the conclusion that the men in that crowd were being discriminated against by the women, apparently. So, for their transgressions, all the women on planet Earth must be eliminated. They also come to this conclusion after spying on one of the most disgusting making out scenes I have ever seen. It was like they were trying to lick as much bacteria and food residue from their tongues and lips as they could. That is so fucking nasty, bitch! Stop! I agreed with the homosexual men of darker skin tones, but apparently they are disturbed because they have never actually seen kissing before. They've only read about it.
Holy phallus, what are they doing down there?
This must be this kissing I've been reading about.
So I guess there's no kissing amongst their race, but uncalled for and out of the blue head rubbing, thigh groping and cheek squeezing is perfectly okay. Anyway, in all honesty, the fact that the gay N-words wanted to destroy all females due to these factors was pretty confusing to me. I mean, the men there seemed like they were having a great time, and the woman did ask for Arminas' consent, but yeah, the anuslings are the smartest beings in the universe, so I trust that their readings of human body language would be better than mine. And this is the second part of this movie. It's where they go on a world tour eradicating all the women. When scanning for every woman on Earth, apparently they only inhabit parts of Asia, North America, and Europe. At least I know from experience that there are no women in Australia. So this movie is accurate in that department. Unfortunately, we don't get to see them murdering every woman in every country. We only get to see them journeying and interacting with 3 only. And we only get to witness 1 instance of eradication per country, and really small ones at that. Not much. I should not say that. But a collective would have been most convenient, right? The maximum they annihilate at once is a whopping 2. The logistics don't fucking matter anyway. What matters is that this part had me crying tears, bitch. So the 3 countries they go to are Germany, Russia, and Asia. But Asia? Here, they take the piss out of all these countries too. My favorite was with Asia, when they said that the women there eat with branches and that China is Asia. The cities that they go to are Hamburg, Ukraine, and Beijing. Oh no, sorry. Beijing. My bad. I guess Ukraine was merely a city in Russia, which didn't age very well, gay N-words from outer space. You're lucky that this was the only thing that didn't age well in this movie. One thing that did seem strange to me, however, so much so that it felt like an oversight on the movie's part, which, yeah, I know is very shocking, was that the only gay N-word who speaks German, Mr. Gay, didn't beam down to Germany. He beams down to Ukraine instead. Whatever, it's not like they're there to discuss bloody politics or make friends and shit. They're only there to murder women and bail. The monsters were basically committing war crimes, making all the men do all the work while they just lazed around and tormented them. So the gay men with darker complexions came just in time. In Ukraine, The women were having a conversation, probably discussing the next steps on how to torture their men further, while the men did all the farming instead. I loved Mr. Gay's elongated celebratory dancing sequence that he did after he terminated the women in Beijing. Well, I was fucking crying here too, partly because I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. So these girls are laughing at and bullying this guy who is folding branches and a ladle for some reason, and he's weeping. I don't know why, I just found it to be so funny. By the way, they also talk in, I don't even know how to describe it. That's so fucking racist. They're so pissed though.
Die, bad-smelling females.
And in Hamburg, well, they were literally speaking German. And for some reason, whenever someone speaks German, the English subtitles display German words. Why? But I was curious nonetheless, so I translated it. According to it, the vile, fucking awful female beast was hard at work cleaning this boat and was severely exhausted and cranky because the man was lazing about. Huh? Hold on a second. How is that bad? Well, apparently she's racist anyway. She screams in terror upon seeing the black man because, according to the description of German women, they don't like black people very much. I was of course crying because of arm and ass during the Germany segment, but apart from his walking and movements, he has now incorporated growling. I guess he was doing this as an intimidation tactic. According to the captain, this was his opportunity to get revenge. But for what exactly? Because a woman with a really terrible wig flirted with him? For traumatizing his virgin mind with all that kissing he saw? Aw, arm and ass. You're a sensitive little fucker, aren't you? After evaporating the women, the darker toned gay men get thanked in the most awkward, strangest ways possible. Seriously, why is it slow motion? That shit is hilarious. Well, at least they get nice embraces. Arm and ass even gives the man a blown kiss and a real kiss on the cheek. I guess he could sense the man's newly found gayness and has incorporated the captain's tactic of not giving a single shit about boundaries. However, D. Ilder didn't get as wholehearted of a thank you. He barely got a hug. It's more of a bro hug or a pat on the back. Come on, Chinese man. You're meant to be gay now. Embrace it like the others did. Or are you fucking racist? Is that why you didn't embrace him good enough? Well, you better get used to them because the homosexual men of color are now your new overlords. After the short instances we get of them eradicating the XX chromosomes, we jump to when they have apparently wiped them all out. Earth now needs a new guide, called a gay ambassador, in order to help the free men navigate through their newly found sexual awakening and to also instruct them on how to give birth, only to male children of course. So I guess they just shit the baby out. In order to find out who should become said ambassador, they have to console their god or something, which is on the spaceship for some reason, and is also, I believe, meant to be a chocolate starfish. In order for it to pick a winner, they literally have to put their arm in ass. Like I said before, I was questioning what the actors were thinking throughout this movie, but that feeling was multiplied more than ever throughout this entire film during this scene. The Lord of Fisting chooses D. Ilder. A massive congratulations to him. Can we all give a massive congratulations to D. Ilder, please? Because the man really did deserve it. He has worked hard throughout the years as a data man, having an incredible talent for the manipulation of other races and life forms. I also feel bad for him because he didn't get as much affection as the others did when he saved the suffering man. I was actually rooting for Arm and Ass, but this is good too. Arm and Ass does have a long way to go in order to be a true gay N-word, to be fair. He did showcase a lot of courage throughout this horrific mission though, so he has a lot of potential. He has a good chance of being a gay ambassador one day. Because of this new role, D. Ilder must pick a new body. for some inexplicable reason. I mean, no one was hostile to the way the gay N-words looked, except for some of the women. And they're all dead now anyway. The males seem to love them for their natural selves, and Arm&Ass even traipsed through a crowd just fine, even while doing all these absolutely crazed movements and walking like a blind man trying to tiptoe through a minefield with calluses on his feet. And no one paid him any mind. Hell, he even got hit on. So this literally makes no sense.
I love you all.
When playing The Sims, apparently there are only 3 races Earth has to offer: European, Asian, and by Asian I'm guessing only Chinese, and black people. And it was of no surprise that he chose to be white. And of course the others say that they imagined that he would choose as such.
Ich habe noch nie einen so schönen Körper gesehen.
Now, because all the women are gone, Earth is a utopia, and we no longer can only see in black and white, but full-on color. Well, really faded color. 0 women also means that men can now swim in a public pool and splash around in it like they're 6, and also eat fruits while wearing a toga. Oh my god, oh shit. Jesus, those are the tightest speedos I have ever seen. Anyway, they beamed down to the pool because Captain B-Dick wanted to give D. Ildo a gift that'll grant him eternal life and supernatural powers. You know, I thought that they already had supernatural powers. I mean, they had the power of instant teleportation, traversing through space at light speed, to manipulate fucking life forms, and to disintegrate an entire gender. But I guess that's not good enough for them. And they decided to do this ceremony at the leisure center for some reason. I don't really know why they chose to do it here. When you see what the gift is, you'll agree that they should have done this in private, especially since there are children here, and D. Ildo looked way too eager to be the recipient of said gift by how swiftly he flung his shirt off. It's really disturbing, actually. After getting a little yummy nummy taste out of a jar, Captain B-Dick pours it onto the new gay ambassador. It's cum. More accurately, it's the gay N-word seed. The emotional and heartwarming music gets louder and crescendos at this powerful and impactful moment, leaving the audience to reflect on the arduous, spanning journey that brought us to this fulfilling moment. This sensation is felt even more by the captain's hard-hitting speech at the end.
Wherever there is a male race or life form in the universe that is oppressed by females, we'll come and free them for a gay universe.
For a gay universe!
After the skeet pouring, the movie returns to black and white though. I don't really know why. I thought that it was black and white only when the women were alive. It was a pretty powerful and emotional metaphor. Master Fatman echoed my thoughts, saying that the newly found color was meant to be a dramatic special effect in order to illustrate the world being freed from the vicious women. But I have a theory that, perhaps, the return to a black and white color palette signifies that the gay men of the darker varieties' jobs aren't over, that there are many more planets with female creatures lurking and skulking around on them, and they must quickly stop celebrating their victory on Earth despite still being on Earth and get their heads in the game immediately. Or maybe, just maybe, it was an error. Fuck that though, I'm going for the former. Anyway, that is going to be all for this video. If you liked it, please give it a like and type in the comments why that is so. If you dislike this video, the same applies. Type in the comments, say why that is so, as long as you're not being a complete douchebag about it. Thank you. Any feedback is much appreciated. And if you want to see more topics about strange and weird and macabre TV shows or movies, you can subscribe. Anyway, that is going to be all from me. Bye. That was me singing bye. Okay. Bye. Bye for realsies.